Welcome to today's topic Being a victim of childhood abuse. Try to get psychological assistance immediately. If not then, at least now. If you happen to be a victim of childhood abuse, it is very unfortunate that you had to go through such an experience. Anyways, you have reached so far in life. Congratulations. Let us see what can be done to childhood abuse. Why is psychological assistance so very important here? A child who has been subjected to childhood abuse at a very young age or even at an older age could be very hard on the self. What do we mean by being very hard on the self? It simply means the child has lost the enthusiasm of life. We need to understand that this experience, whatsoever, happened at an age where the child is not aware of physicality or sexuality. So there could be lots of confusion. What is good touch? What is bad touch? More so if the experience happened when the child was sleeping. And do not for a moment think that the experience happened many years ago and it has no implications on you now. The implications of childhood experience is all stored in the unconscious mind. Better late than never. Get psychological assistance. The best is to get assistance immediately, if not then, at least now. Why do we need psychological assistance in such a scenario? Number one, the child must have forgotten to smile, to live happily. All the child does is to push the self to be perfect. As long as the child is with the parent and with siblings, maybe the psychological complications might not be that evident. But as the child grows and turns into an adult and engages in a relationship, real issues could pop up. So it is always better to address the issue as soon as you realize it, or at least now. Such a child could be very strict on the self, very disciplined, overly disciplined, we can say. We do not need that much discipline in life. Life is all about living in the moment, and such a child forgets to live in the moment. The creativity of the child gets lost. Most importantly, the self esteem gets affected. What is self esteem? Self esteem is what we think about our own self, our beliefs. How much do we trust on our abilities or skills? It all gets lost with just one single event of sexual abuse. Such a child could be very hard on others. When the child is hard on the self, needless to say, such a child will be hard on others as well. So the child fails to see genuine love coming its way. Such a child cannot appreciate true love. And the sad part is the child is not aware that it is going through all these. The child is hard on the self and on others because of this experience. The other aspect is such a child's personality could be totally changed post abuse. The child could be more hyperactive or more withdrawn. The change in personality could happen in different levels. It could be at the level of thinking, at the level of beliefs, at the level of physicality, or most importantly, in behavior. Let us consider the thought process of such a child. There could be intense fear. All the child wants is not to get traumatized again. And there could be some beliefs like, I don't deserve love. These all will be in the unconscious level. The child might not know that as well. The child will have difficulty in identifying the emotion. Why? Because during the traumatic phase, the child couldn't simply understand what was happening. What is it that was happening to its body? It is unaware. At an emotional level, needless to say, there could be lots of ups and downs. Clarity is not there, and lots of confusion is there in that place. As long as the child is with the parent, perhaps nothing comes out. Once the child is exposed to the outer world, the child could face lots of difficulty in understanding its own emotions. Forget the emotions of others. The self emotions itself could be very difficult to interpret. The child could be academically shining, but this emotion aspect gets unaddressed. So, help the child to release the baggage of the unwanted emotion that is deep within. This unexpressed, unidentified, unacknowledged emotion that the child went through as a child in the name of childhood abuse, the same thing can persist throughout the child's life unless it is addressed well. Remember, unexpressed, unacknowledged, unidentified emotion could be very, very problematic. Coming to the physicality aspect, this is a huge one. The child might not like its own physicality. The child could be very, very tough on its own self. There could be lots of clothing on the body, full body gets covered, and touch is something what the child hates like anything. Any form of touch, fatherly, motherly, affectionate touch is what perhaps the child avoids. The child might not enjoy life as a normal child. The child doesn't want to look beautiful. This is a very important question to ask to a child. How is your sleep pattern? Are you able to sleep properly? If you closely observe or inquire, you might get some details like this, that the child faces difficulty to lie on the bed. The child might complain, ants are crawling on my body or worms are crawling, the bed sheet is not clean, it is full of dust. This crawling and creeping sensation of worms on the body happens because of that dirty feeling that the child has towards that experience. That dirtiness is expressed as worms crawling on the body. With a little psychological assistance, you can help the child like anything. The child could also have terrifying dreams. So, what do we mean by psychological assistance here? There are so many psychological tools. We can customize the tool according to the child's need. VKD is an excellent therapy. Smriti meditation is even more beautiful. Rational emotive behavioral therapy is excellent. Age regression and hypnosis are wonderful techniques as well. So, what does a psychologist do? A psychologist basically helps a child to transform from a low esteem level to a high esteem level. So, a clinical psychologist will definitely help the child or the adult who has gone through such an experience to come out of that emotional baggage attached to that traumatic experience and to live life to the fullest. So, what are the signs of low self esteem? Lack of clarity, lots of confusion, emotional instability, inability to understand and interpret an event. The judgment of right and wrong could be very difficult. What are the signs of high self esteem? The opposite of all these. There will be lots of clarity, lots of awareness, self confidence comes back. The child feels very, very efficient, self sufficient, self efficient. The child will be better equipped with resources to deal with the problem. Identification of the problem could be very easy. So, summarizing, let no child go through such an experience. As adults, let us protect the children, the youth. Let us help them in the best possible way. There is always assistance outside. We just need to be aware that there is assistance outside and get access to it. Thank you.